Hey guys, Hamsterwheel here, and welcome to episode 4 of the Quest of Classic WoW. Today we're going to stay in the eastern plaguelands a little longer. We go from a little girl and her doll to an old man near the bank of a river. An old man that will give us quite an epic journey, so without further ado, let's get started. So where do we go first? Well, if you enter the eastern plaguelands, you'll have to make a left right away and keep following the river that runs north. Eventually you should see a house, a horse, and the man in question. This man is no one other than Tirion Fordring. But of course, following the quest line, we first encounter this quest giver as just any old man with somewhat mundane tasks. When we talk to him, he says the following: "Race does not dictate honor, undead. While you remain on my farmstead, I ask that you remember and respect this credo. I have known orcs who have been as honorable as the most noble of knights, and humans who have been as vile as the most ruthless of scourge. But I shall not bore you with tales of my youth. There is much work to be done, if that is what you desire." Then we accept the first quest. If you're going to remain here, I ask you only that you earn your keep. We have many nuisances that could use some discipline. You could start with the plaguehounds and their runs. I cannot offer much in return, but you are guaranteed a warm meal and some conversation should you succeed. Then we accept the second one. Woe to those that foolishly wander into the plaguelands. All manner of foulness inhabit these woods, from the fanatical Scarlet Crusade, who will kill any that do not bear the mark of the crusade, to murderous scourge, who only look to bolster their numbers by adding more undead to their ranks. Even the wildlife has transformed into rapacious, man-eating beasts. I ask that you destroy those that would strike from the skies, the plague bats. And then the third and final quest we can get for now. My food supplies are running low, undead. I am ashamed to admit that I might not have enough food to share with you. Could you assist an old man with a simple task? Around here, the only manner of beasts unaffected by the ravages of the plague are the carrion worms. While rather bland in taste, the meat of the worms can easily be preserved to last for months. I will need several hundred pounds to restock for the coming winter. So doing these 3 quests is fairly easy. All the mobs are non-elite and are literally all over the place. For the plaguehounds and frenzied plaguehounds, you need to go a bit more to the northeast, but then again, there's plenty to be found and killed. The carrion worm meat is also easily attainable, with a very high drop rate, making it quite easy to collect all 15 pieces in a jiffy. Once we've done all 3, we head back to Tirion. Let's hand them all in. First, the plaguehound quest. Well done, adventurer. Come, rest. Let us eat and talk days of long past. Then the second one, the plague bat quest. You are a shining example of decency, undead. It has been long since I have felt the blood of heroes pump through my veins. Your acts of bravery are uplifting. And the last one. May the light watch over you. Bless you, young one. And then we get a follow-up. You have worked hard, friend. Rest your weary bones, and allow me to properly introduce myself. So now it's time to find out who this old man residing in this house really is. So we ask him, "I'm ready to hear your tale, Tirion. I must apologize for not being entirely truthful with you in regards to my identity. I had to be certain that you could be trusted. Few people would have selflessly lent assistance to an old and forgotten hermit. You have proven yourself as one of those people, a person of integrity and honor." "Thank you, Tirion. What of your identity?" "My son, Taelan, was only a child when I was found guilty of treason and banished from the Alliance to live a life in exile. I chose to remain here so that I could watch over him, to somehow ensure that he would grow up an honorable man. As I had hoped, he took my place as the Lord of Mardenhold, but in a cruel twist of fate, joined the ranks of the Scarlet Crusade. He is now their High Lord, undead." That is terrible. Indeed, the Scarlet Crusade are an aberration of the Order of the Silver Hand. You must believe me, undead. Taelan is a good man. He needs guidance. He needs to remember. Remember what it is to be noble and honorable. I know that in his heart, he knows what he does is wrong. Will you help him? Will you help him remember?" "I will, Tirion." And after that, we complete the quest. The Fordring redemption will be a difficult task. Are you prepared? So here we are, off to make sure Tyrion's son has a change of heart. To help Taelan regain what he's lost, you must gather items from his past. The first such item is a toy that I gave to him on his 7th birthday. It was his most cherished possession, a miniature warhammer, an exact replica of my very own. After I was banished for treason, his mother told him that I had died. He was taken to my false grave at the Undercroft, where he buried the hammer along with my memory, forever. You must venture to the Undercroft and recover Taelan's hammer. So the Undercroft is west of Anderhall, south of the main road to the Light's Hope. Once you get there, you need to click on the dirt pile right next to Tyrion's grave. Be careful though. Once you do, Mercurio Filthgorger, who has the quest item, appears as well as 3 crypt robbers. They're a little tricky, so I suggest bringing a friend, or just try to nuke Mercurio and loot the item quickly. Once we got the hammer, we're going back to Tirion. Tirion blinks to hold back tears. It was destiny that we meet, adventurer. You have blessed me with your kindness. And then we get the next quest. The Order of the Silver Hand was utterly decimated when Uther was slain. The boy held out for as long as he could. Pushed to the war-torn hamlet of Northdale, he made his final stand. Were any of the Order left alive, he thought, and did it matter? It was with that thought that Taelan threw down the standard of the Order and renounced all that he had known. His honor left upon the blood-soaked ground of Northdale. You must travel to Northdale and recover that symbol of honor. So we're off to Northdale, which is north of Light's Hope's chapel, close to the edge of the map in terms of the mountains. Once we're there, we need to dive into this lake, and at the bottom of it, you'll find this symbol of lost honor. Once we got it, we go back to Tirion. It is as glorious now, even in its tattered state, as the day I looked upon it and took my oath of allegiance. His redemption comes, and perhaps mine with it. And we're on to the next part. When Taelan was a child, we would often visit Caer Darrow on family excursions. On our last visit, an artist by the name of Renfrey painted a portrait of us poised along the beachside. It is my fondest memory of both Taelan and Karandra, for it was at that moment, with my wife and son in my arms, that I felt a bond of love and family that I would never know again. If this painting still exists, you must find it. Travel to the ruined island of Caer Darrow and see if the painting or the artist remain. So off to Caer Darrow we go, which is the island where you'll find the Scholomance dungeon, in case anyone wasn't aware of this. Once we cross the bridge, we take an immediate left, and right before you see the ruined blacksmith building, you need to enter the house to the right, and you'll see a ghost. We then talk to her. How could I forget? Many of the spirits on this island are cursed to relive their last happy memory before they met their tragic end. I too am cursed, but not as they. I am one of the few that remembers all. Perhaps this thing you ask me is why I haunt these ruins. Perhaps this thing I tell you shall set me free. And then we get the next part. The painting. It hung on the wall of my workshop, inside the Order's barracks, for years. After Tyrion's trial was over, I knew that I could no longer keep the painting visible. I hid it in a place that I would never think to look. Travel to Stratholme and make your way deep inside what is now the Scarlet Bastion. Search for a painting of our twin moons. Chip away the paint until you uncover my masterwork of love and family. May the light guide your actions. So this is where it starts to get somewhat tricky, because in order to get this painting, you'll have to do a full strat living run, which means invading the Scarlet Citadel and going all the way to the final room of this dungeon. But instead of taking a right into that last room, we need to make a left into the smaller room where we find the portrait of 2 moons. Click on it and we get our quest item. Once we got it, we once again go back to Tirion. Upon seeing it, Tirion nearly collapses when he sees the painting. He begins to sob in an almost frenetic manner. And then, on to the next part. Adventurer, you have done all that I asked thus far. Only one step remains in your quest of redemption. You must deliver the items you have collected to Taelan. Unfortunately, Taelan and his Scarlet Crusaders will attack you on sight. There is only one way in which to deliver my message, and that is through a guise of deception. To the south, you will find Uther's tomb. An old and trusted confidant of mine, Miranda, now resides there. Seek her out. Show her the items and she will assist you. Miranda, eh? That's a familiar name, and sure enough, it's a gnome in the eastern plaguelands south of Enderhall. We walk up to her and this is what she says. I was Tyrion's most trusted advisor when he held rank as Lord of Mardenhold. I openly dissented the verdict passed by the Order of the Silver Hand and was banished for my insolence. He has been through much heartache and disappointment in his life, undead. Are you prepared to right the wrongs set upon the Fordrings? Then on to the next part. I am what you would call an illusionist. Though I may be able to create an illusion to allow you entry into Hearthglen, be warned, my powers have their limitations. Should you travel too far from these lands, the effect of the illusion will cease. The spell itself takes a great amount of concentration and power from me, and thus, I can only sustain the effect for a short time. Speak to me again when you are ready. And there we go, we're now transformed into a Scarlet Soldier. When we approach Hearthglen, all the mobs are friendly, so unlike the previous quest chain, we can now just stroll into Hearthglen without any sort of problems. We enter the castle, walk upstairs, find Taelan, and talk to him. What is this, soldier? Taelan opens the box and begins to examine its contents. This cannot be true, but all that you've shown me. Taelan falls to one knee, his heartbeat quickens. The fury of ages is about to be loosed upon this town. Taelan then screams and starts to fight his bodyguards, and when he has killed each and every one of them, we talk to him again. For so long, I have been a puppet of the Grand Crusader. What reason was there to fight against what the Scarlet Crusade had become? It has been decades, yet the memories of my father, those precious memories, they are what kept me alive. I have dreams, stranger. In these dreams, my father is with me. He stands proudly at my side as I am inducted into the Order. We battle Legion of Scourge, side by side. We bring honor to the Alliance, to Lordaeron. I want to not dream anymore. Take me to him. So here we go. It's up to me and Taelan to fight our way through the ranks of the Scarlet Crusade, so finally he can be reunited with his father, Tirion Fordring. As we battle our way through the elites, a very important tip is to just let Taelan do most of the fighting. He has a ton of health and does a ton of damage, so just stay back and let him do most of the work. However, when we exit Hearthglen, we walk into a bit of a surprise. As this is quest dialogue, I'll narrate this as well. It's not much further. The main road is just up ahead. Ysilian! This is not your fight, stranger. Protect yourself from the attacks of the Crimson Elite. I shall battle the Grand Inquisitor. You disappoint me, Taelan. I had plans for you. Grand plans. Alas, it was only a matter of time before your filthy bloodline would catch up with you. It is as they say, like father, like son. You are as weak of will as Tirion, perhaps more so. I can only hope my assassins finally succeeded in ending his pitiful life. The Grand Crusader has charged me with destroying you and your newfound friends, Taelan. But know this, I do this for pleasure, not of obligation of duty. The end is now, Fordring. At this moment, Taelan starts fighting Ysilian and the guards. 3 more will spawn from the back that you need to kill, or, in my case on my own server, use the instant death button on. Unfortunately, you can't help Taelan, and Ysilian will inevitably kill Taelan. Ysilian laughs as Taelan dies. Did you really believe that you could defeat me? Your friends are soon to join you, Taelan. And then he proceeds to try and kill me, or your party for that matter. Now for me that's not an issue, since this is my own private server and I'm immortal, but you can either choose to kite him around, or try and kill him with your own friends. Not too long after though, we see a very welcoming sight. It's Tirion Fordring. He kneels down to see his son, dead. What have you done, Ysilian? You once fought with honor, for the good of our people, and now, you have murdered my boy. Tragic, the elder Fordring lives on. You are too late, old man. Retreat back to your cave, hermit, unless you wish to join your son in the twisting Nether. May your soul burn in anguish, Ysilian. Light give me strength to battle this fiend. Face me, coward. Face the faith and strength that you once embodied. Then come, hermit. At this moment, Ysilian stops fighting me and turns his attention to Tirion. Luckily, Tirion is stronger, and eventually me and Tirion are able to kill him. 1,000 more like him exist. 10,000. Should one fall, another will rise to take the seat of power. Look what they did to my boy. Too long I have sat idle, gripped in this haze, this malaise, lamenting what could have been, what should have been. Your death will not be in vain, Taelan. A new order is born on this day, an order which will dedicate itself to extinguishing the evil that plagues this world, an evil that cannot hide behind politics and pleasantries. This I promise, this I vow. And with that, the quest is complete, and Tirion says the following. The death of my son at the hands of these monsters will not pass without incident. Take solace in knowing that the Order is reborn. I now take my place as High Lord of the new Order of the Silver Hand. These possessions of my past, they are all that I have to offer for all that you have done. Please, take these as a symbol of my gratitude. All have served me well over the years. May we meet again in better times and reminisce of days long past, battles hard fought, dreams redeemed. And we get to obtain some pretty sweet blue items. A melee neck, a tanking chest, a two-handed mace, a cape for casters, and a pretty sweet ring for healers. And with that, we are at the end of this epic quest chain. Do I really need to explain why this quest chain is so memorable? Probably not. From the way it started, helping out an old man, to shaking the foundations of Heartglen and an epic battle between tough elites. And the fact that this involved a well-known character in WoW lore make this quest a truly wonderful experience. And it's good to see that Tirion lived up to his word, and later went on to, destroy the Lich King himself. Yeah, pretty badass, right? And that's the end of this episode. I hope you liked this, and I'll be back very soon with another video. But until then, I'm Hamsterwheel, and have a good one.